Good morning everyone, and today's episode is episode 2 of my bathroom renovation. So I haven't done an awful lot since episode 1 because I am kind of doing the things I have to do in order for my son Tom to do the next job for him. So I'm kind of like going on one job, leaving that job, doing something else. So most of this week I've been stripping wallpaper downstairs in the hall because he's going to be plastering, and I've obviously got footage and I'll be sharing all that with you when we come to do the video on the hall. So I've been doing that, but today I am able to do a little project. I've got this idea in my head of what I want to do, so I'm going to show you my inspiration first of all, my Pinterest kind of mood boards. Obviously I'm going for something like moody, dark, vintage looking for the bathroom. Now these pictures were kind of my inspiration, and I absolutely loved those, the way they've got the two little lights either side of the mirror. Just thought, oh, how quaint was that? And I thought I want to do something like that. So I didn't want to get anything that was going to be hardwired in because all the wiring's done and there is no way I'm getting any more building work to put hardwire electrical in. But I just thought that they look good just for show kind of thing. I thought I could get maybe some rechargeable light bulbs if I wanted to put them on. So I'll show you the light before I go on any further. So these are my Facebook Marketplace finds. So where are we? I don't know which, and I'm not sure which is the way you would put them. Would you put them that way? Would you put them that way? I haven't decided yet, but these were on Facebook Marketplace, literally 5 minutes away, 2 houses down from my other son where he lives, literally over the road and a little bit beyond. I think they were £10 for the 2, and I just thought yes. So I went round and got them, total bargain. So obviously they've got the wiring in. I don't want the wiring because these are just going to go up on the wall behind me, either side of the mirror. That's the plan. And I had my eye on a couple in Dunelm, home furnishing store, and it's got all the cushions, curtains, bedding, got a lovely coffee shop. Me and Mum often go there just for a browse, cup of coffee and a browse. I went and had a look at the lighting and I really loved these lights, I'll show you, but they weren't cheap. And my budget is almost zero now. So I have to be very careful, very frugal. And if you know me already, you know I have a very expensive taste. Everything I always choose is, ridiculous. And I just thought, I can't justify spending, I think they were £40 each. I can't justify spending £80 on lights. They're not even going to be wired in. They're not even going to, work as such. So I saw these and I thought I will do something with these. Now they're a bit too new for me, far too modern for me. So I am going to try and antique them down. I've got some rub and buff gold, antique gold distress cream, I think it is. I've never used it before. And also I'm not sure whether I love the glass. I think the glass is so pretty with its fluted edge. I'm not sure whether I like the glass like that, or I might try and make it look like milk glass and just use a little bit of emulsion that I've got. Now I like the colour that's on the ceiling, which I use, which is Farrow and Ball mix by B&Q, Farrow and Ball Schoolhouse White. I absolutely love that colour, and I just thought if I could try and put Schoolhouse White on there. And then I've got some antique in wax, which I could then add a little bit of antique wax on the glass, maybe just dull it down a bit, make it look old. But I've got great hopes and I think they're going to look amazing. So I'll show you my vision. So they're going to go either side of the mirror, like so, probably around about there. They could go also down. There's no reason why they couldn't go that way. I quite like them that way actually. I don't know, that's kind of calling my name, that way down. Obviously I'll decide on that way or that way when I come to put them on the wall. When I say I mean Tom. So I'm going to go downstairs, take you downstairs, and all my equipment's down there, and we'll see what I can do with these. Oh, before I go downstairs, I have been given the most amazing light from a friend of a friend who found it in a skip a few years ago. If you stay to the end of the video, I'll show you at the end. And she just messaged me on Instagram, said, would you like this light? Would I like this light? Wait till you see it. It's absolutely stunning. I'm going to tantalise you till the end. Anyway, I'm going to go downstairs and make a start on these lights. Okay, so that's the antique gold rub and buff that I've got. And this is my emulsion schoolhouse white, so I'll try that on the glass. And then I've also got some dark Rust-Oleum furniture finishing wax, and I've got it in the dark. You only need a tiny bit because it's got quite good coverage, and obviously then you buff it off. I'm going to have a go at that on the glass if I don't like the emulsion, but I'm not even going to touch the glass. As I was saying, it's a bit dark. Sorry, the light isn't brilliant in here, but you get the gist. So I'm not even going to touch the glass until I've done the brass effect. So I'm going to take the shades off, try not to break them. There's one off. And then next I'm just going to take the wiring out because I don't need the wiring. I mean, I suppose I could leave it in. Doesn't harm, I suppose. I could leave it in. It wouldn't be in the way. I mean, they're going to be on the wall, so they're not even going to be in the way. So I'll leave the wiring in. So far so good. It's definitely toned it down, and yeah, I quite like that colour, the antique gold colour, and you can see it's definitely toned it down. So I'm going to work on this one, and it's not as messy as I thought it would be. There's very little mess. I'm doing okay so far. So that, and it kind of dries relatively quickly. So as soon as you kind of put it on, and you can you've got enough time to rub it in, and then it kind of sets in a way. And I guess you can just build it up and make it, you know, more intense as you go. I'm guessing. So there's the one with the paint on. I'm going to let it dry, obviously, and then might give it another coat. And there it is without. So you can see it kind of dries really quick. I've already put a really thin layer on, and I'm probably going to build it up and maybe put a couple of layers on. But I really like it so far. I think it kind of looks a little bit like milk glass in a way, and I might even add again a little bit of antique wax, so it kind of sits in some of the carved glass, shall we say, the moulded glass sections, and kind of give a little bit of depth and a little bit of shadow into it and make it look, you know, really old and vintage. So I'm going to try and add a little bit of wax to the pendant light part, wall light, this part. So I quite like the antique gold. I only put one layer, one coat on, and it's dried really quick. And it's not like the wax where you can buff it and, you know, take a bit off or what have you. It's once it's dried, it's on there. But I quite like the effect. I didn't want it to be overly, you know, overly coated. I wanted it to look old, vintage, and I think if I add a little bit of wax, it'll like stick to the, you know, the detailed parts. Well, see what that looks like. So we'll give that a go. So I've got an old microfiber cloth that I've used for all my waxing. I just keep it and I just use it over and over again. And I just literally dab a bit on the cloth, tiny bit, and I'm just gonna dab it on. And what you do is you just put it on and then you take it off if you've got too much on. And it's taking off the gold, I think it is. Right, so that doesn't work because it's taking off the antique gold. It's taking it off. It's taking it off, can you see? So I'm gonna have to start again with this one. So that doesn't work. So forget that, but I might try it on the glass. Yeah, it looks quite old because I haven't overly been perfect putting the antique gold on, the rub and buff on. I've left little bits of the cheaper gold popping through in places, so it just kind of gives it a little bit of depth. And I guess you can just build it up, I suppose, but obviously the wax is kind of taking it off, so I won't be doing that, but I will probably try it again. You don't know until you try. When the glass dries, not almost dry, this one's almost dry, and I quite like how that looks. It looks a kind of little bit like milk glass. It's definitely toned it down and made it look older. But I only used a thin layer on, not on a, you know, tiny bit on my brush, and I didn't use an awful lot. I just brushed it on like you would stipple it on, And then obviously I can build it up, because if I put too much on at the beginning and I didn't like it, then it's too much on. So I thought, well, I can build it up in layers until I'm happy with it. But I quite like it as it's coming along now. I might just add one more light layer on it, put a little bit of wax. Hopefully the wax doesn't take the emulsion off. Put a little bit of wax so it just kind of gets in the pattern of the glass. So it'll make it look old and a little bit dirty kind of thing, like something that's been on a wall for a long time. Waiting for it to dry. And then we'll see how that looks. Patience is not one of my virtues. I can't wait for it to dry, so I'm kind of drying it with a towel. Some kitchen towel. It is almost dry, to be fair. I can always add a little bit more, but I think it's starting to look like milk glass, and I'm hoping to add some wax. But while waiting for that to dry, I thought I would take you upstairs and show you my little thrifted bargain that I got from the charity shop last week. In fact, my mum found it, and obviously wallpaper is absolutely lush. I love it. And I just wanted a little soap dish. And look at that, what my mum found. How cute is that? And how good does it go with my amazing floral wallpaper? And it's just the cutest thing. I don't think it's anything particularly old. No, it's nothing. It's just fine china. But I just love the image on it of the roses. So it's just a perfect little soap dish, and I just thought I'd share it with you. How cute is that? So I'm back down in the hall. So before I go, as promised, I want to show you that gorgeous gift that I was given. This beautiful light shade. Stay there. This is proper heavy brass, I think. And here is the light. Isn't that the most stunning piece of glass? But the idea is to hang it in my vestibule when it's all done. There's a light obviously in here. Try not to drop this. And then if I get a nice piece of length of chain, it will hang down, and it'll hang, in front of the fan light, above the door. And I just think that will be absolutely stunning as you come in. So that is the idea. So I seriously cannot believe that I've got this, and I'm going to look after it, and I'm going to treasure it. Oh, it's just absolutely stunning. Now I think this is milk glass. I'm only guessing, but I think it is. So yes, so you will obviously see this, treasure. I'm going to treasure it forever. You'll see this going up in the vestibule when it comes time to do said vestibule, but we're nowhere near doing that, but I couldn't resist and I had to show you. So it kind of goes on there like that, screws on there like that, and then you've got the brass hook, and obviously I need some more chain. So it's another day, another shawl, and it's time to put the lights on the wall. I'm just waiting for Tom to come, so I'm going to take the mirror down and then take all the bits and bobs out the way so nothing gets broken. Give the mirror a clean so it's all sparkly to go back up on the wall, and obviously so Tom can measure up to put the lights. How cute is this mug? This pumpkin mug. Can't resist a mug. Can't resist a mug. They're all dry, all ready to go on the wall. I'll just quickly show you one of them. So they have antique down quite well. I like the all distressed look. I like the fact that, you know, they don't look brand new anymore. Now, I'm tempted to put them that way, but I like them that way. But I am tempted to put them that way. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 2 bulbs in. These are bayonet, fit in, put them in, and at least it looks like there's a bulb in kind of thing, even though they're not going to work, until I can find maybe some rechargeable bulbs that would fit in. Drink my coffee, then I'll show you the reveal of the before and the after.